Welcome to PrairieFoxSurvival.com. I'm Richard, and this year at Thanksgiving they had a great sale on bananas. They had them on at 22 cents a pound, so I bought around 20 pounds of them. And on some of them we dehydrated, as you might have seen on our other video. And we let these get ripe, and what we're going to do is we're going to can these up. And we're going to use a water bath to do that. Now before we do it, we're going to peel these. As you see, I'm going to put them in the blender. And we're going to just cut them in sizes about like this. Boy, these little puppies are ripe too. That ought to make some good banana nut bread. Banana nut cookies. And we're just going to cut them in chunks, put them in our blender. We're going to puree them, and I'm going to wipe my hands real quick. And with this, since we're going to do a water bath in it, we're going to add the citric acid to it by putting in a tablespoon of lemon juice. And we're going to go ahead and get this puree made up, and I'll show it to you. Finish peeling out these bananas, and I'll be right back to you. Alright, now we're finally got our water boiling, and what we're doing now, we have a sterilization cycle on our dishwasher, but no more than what we're doing out of this. We'll probably get about 5 pints. And so we're just going to sterilize our jars here in the same water we're doing the water bath with. Let me get this lid out of the way. Now, we're only going to do these one at a time of taking them out of the bucket here. And the reason for that, we want them good and hot. Now, we did start heating our bananas up. Whew, it is hot too. We started heating them up until it just started bubbling. Yeah, what you see on the jar is nothing more than calcium, so we are not even worried about that right now. Alright, what we're going to do here, I need to move my lids over here. Turn that burner off. Now normally I'm sloppy, but I'm going to see if I'm a little more coordinated today and can do this just this way. Now you want to leave at least a 1/4 inch of room at the top. So far I'm doing pretty good. Okay. Let's just lay that in there. And then, I need a napkin here. Gonna make sure, clean, wow, that's hot. It'll be a tough Texan to do that, just holding the jar. Okay, now what we're gonna do is get one of our lids out of here. Of course, they want to stick together, and I'm too cheap to buy a magnet to do it. And then we also heated up our rings with our jars. Wow. Maybe it's not you have to be a tough Texan. How about a stupid Texan? Let's get something here to hold the jars. There we go. Just want to secure them. And since this is a little bit time consuming right here, we'll go ahead and get our jars filled, and I'll get right back to you. We have our jars finished now, and we ended up getting 4 1/4. This one isn't quite full. So now with the pint jar, you have 2 cups in it. And 2 cups is what you want to make a loaf of banana nut bread. So we know we have 4 loaves of banana nut bread right here. We're going to put them into our boiling water. Now we do use the tray out of our canner to set in this pot in order that the water will get under these jars also. And what you're going to want to do when you set them in is make sure that you have about an inch of water above them. So we don't quite have that. So what we do have is a coffee pot here, one of our camping pots, and we're just going to fill that up. We've been heating that up, boiling it. And I am having one little problem. I'm sorry you can't see this, but my 3/4 jar doesn't have the buoyancy. It has too much buoyancy, I should say, and it's floating. So what I'm going to have to do is I am going to put a weight on the top of that. And you want to let your water get back to a full boil. And they say anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. I would say if it's at a full boil and they're hot, that we're going to boil ours for about 12 minutes. And we'll show you what they look like. Now, it may take us 5 or so to get our water back up to a boil. We'll be back to you then and show you what they look like when they come out. Well, what kind of... Right, we finished up here and ended up putting the weight on the one that was about 3/4 full. Whoa, little seepage here. Keep a good eye on that jar. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is coming out a little bit. Alright, like I say, we are going to keep an eye on this one jar. We'll know if we see it pop. And the one thing, after a year, year and a half, when you open these up, you could see a little discoloration in them, and they could have a liquid content, separation on the top. And a lot of people will throw them away on that, but you don't have to do that. You can really, the coloring won't hurt at all, and just take a spoon and skim off if it's separating on the top. So the one that's still floating, I'm going to watch it. Had her weight on it, so we know it was underwater. But now that one could be an excellent survival jar for the people that really are into survival. Because I figure I can put that thing in a pack or something, make sure it doesn't break. By golly, I can go fishing. And I can use that for a bobber for my fishing line. And if I don't catch any fish, at least I'll have something to eat. So thank you for joining us today at PrairieFoxSurvival.com, and hope to see you next time.